What's going on everyone? Jam is here back with another Street Fighter V video. And this video here is the 7th video in the matchup breakdown series where I discuss some important points regarding all of Mika's matchups in Street Fighter V. I was meant to release this video sooner, but I've kind of been busy recently and I've got a busy month ahead of me, so apologies for the delay. Now we've covered 6 matchups so far, all of which you can find on my YouTube channel in the matchup breakdown playlist. But for our next matchup video, let us take a look at how our 7 color bomber fares against the red cyclone Zangief. So to start things off, we will be covering the first topic of these breakdown videos, and that is how Zangief goes about punishing dropkick. The first option you are seeing here is Zangief's standing hard punch. Standing hard punch is an interesting option because it's one of Zangief's crush counter buttons, but in this case it doesn't crush counter, but instead absorbs the dropkick due to the armored property and knocks Mika down. Now to be perfectly honest, Zangief doesn't really get a follow up from this, unless he's in V-trigger or something, so you won't really see this option at all in the matchup, but do keep in mind that it is a legitimate one. The next solution you're witnessing is Zangief's standing hard kick. Standing hard kick is the go-to crush counter option Zangief has, which when it connects, puts the opponent in an airborne spinning state, not to mention building V-meter. Once the opponent is airborne, Zangief can follow up with things like forward hard punch for a knockdown, another standing hard kick to air reset the opponent, or EX Bosch dynamite to get both damage and a knockdown. However, it does cost 1 bar. The follow-ups from a crush counter stand hard kick are pretty crazy, so try not to present the opportunity to Zangief to get huge mileage from it. The final answer Zangief has against the dropkick is none other than his V skill, Iron Muscles. Now this is Zangief's best answer without a doubt, simply because it absorbs the dropkick like standing hard punch, but more importantly leaves him in a range to land a command throw, which is ultimately what Zangief wants. He can V skill on reaction and still be able to punish the recovery frames of the dropkick. Now if Zangief has V-Trigger 2 available, then the punish against dropkick can be a lot more damaging. Now if you really think about it, all these answers showcase build Zangief some sort of V-meter, so if you want to give him free V-meter, then be my guest. The second thing I will be showcasing is just as important as the first topic, and that is how Zangief goes about anti-airing Mika. The first option you are seeing here is Zangief's normal attack anti-air standing light punch. Standing light punch is a low risk, low reward option which is quick and acts as a deterrent more than anything, mainly due to how good its hitbox is. Now against dive bomb, there will be times where the body splash will beat it, and this is due to the incorrect timing despite it being a light attack. However, with the correct timing, the standing light punch will recover before the body splash connects, allowing Zangief to get a guaranteed punish, preferably a heavy SPD. If you see Zangief players doing a stand light punch anti-air, it's cause they're lazy. Moving on to a stronger option, which is Zangief's crouching hard punch. Crouching hard punch is a lot more reliable as an anti-air against Mika in my personal opinion, as it does more damage and has a lot more active frames. Not to mention where the opponent is left after successfully landing the crouching hard punch. Now in regards to dive bomb, due to having a ton of active frames, the latter frames should stop dive from even connecting, though sometimes the timing may be off. You don't see this option too often, but it's really good. And for the final anti-air option, well, do I even need to explain? It's the infamous lariat. This has been one of Zangief's anti-air options for as long as I can remember. Has upper body invincibility, can be done with 1 button, I mean, where can you go wrong? This is the go-to option for Zangief when it comes to tackling aerial options. Unfortunately, it does lose to dive bomb, so if Zangief relies on this too much as an anti-air option, then dive bomb will beat it clean every time. Moving on to the third point, which is something that is crucial when it comes to the Zangief matchup, not just for Mika, but for everyone, and that is how to whiff punish Zangief's standing hard punch. Standing hard punch is one of Zangief's go-to options as well as one of his most prevalent buttons, and what you need to always keep in mind is that there are 2 versions to this button, a non-charge version and a charge version, identical to Mika's dropkick. Now regarding Mika's solutions to the stand hard punch can be pretty much used against both versions, the only difference will be your timing. Moves like crouching medium kick and crouching hard kick are good to start off with, but they don't offer much reward. But when you have more confidence and have a better understanding of how Zangief's standing hard punch works, you can punish with things like a raw EX shooting peach, standing hard punch into heavy shooting peach, or even get some nice V-trigger conversions. It all depends on your resources. Do keep in mind though, This is Zangief's crush counter button, so if you mistime your button, then you will get crush countered and put in a dangerous situation, so watch out. The fourth point being mentioned is something that you should never disregard when facing Zangief, especially if you are playing a grappler, and that is knowing the threat of Zangief's EX spinning power driver. This should be common knowledge by now, but for those of you that don't know, the EX spinning power driver is throw invincible, meaning if you go for a throw, EX SPD will beat your throw attempt. Now for a lot of favourable situations for Mika, example after a block dropkick, block standing light punch, or even after landing a brimstone, a regular throw or command throw is a legitimate option, but anytime Zangief has one bar available to him, Mika should always consider the EX spinning power driver, because despite throws being able to beat buttons in certain situations, Mika's throws will lose to the EX spinning power driver in those exact situations if she opts for a throw. So my advice to you is, go through all of Mika's favourable situations where going for a throw is a legit option on block and on wake up, and see if EX SPD works, because it's important to know that it's a good option for Zangief on defense. Now a very basic solution to stopping the EX SPD is by going for a button, but by doing this, not only do you stop the EX SPD from coming out, but Zangief also loses meter for the attempt. If you do get grabbed by the EX SPD, then be prepared to guess, because Zangief can win matches from using this in a defensive situation. The fifth and final point we have to discuss is in regards to another defensive tool Zangief can use against Mika, and that is his V-reversal Muscle Explosion. Zangief's V-reversal is one of the faster V-reversals in the game, as it has 12 frames of startup, meaning it will work in certain situations where other V-reversals cannot. Now in regards to the Mika matchup, Zangief's V-reversal can stop grounded attacks like forward hard punch or the dropkick, against certain meaty buttons like a meaty crouching medium punch or a meaty forward hard punch. Heck, even her jumping attacks can be thwarted by the V-reversal if done at a specific time. Now if the V-reversal hits, Zangief is left at +3 frame advantage. Mid-screen this is fine because Mika is not in range of anything, so you can either backdash or walk backwards. However, in the corner you are actually in range of an SPD, so backdashing here is a legitimate option. Do be careful though, because Zangief may make a hard read on your backdash and try to grab you. You won't see Zangief's V-reversal being used too often in this matchup, unless he has V-trigger too, so he can be more liberal with it, as the only thing he'll really need to use it against is Lady Mika. Nevertheless, it can get him out of sticky situations, so do be careful. And that's pretty much it for the video, people. Hopefully by watching this, you understand the Mika-Zangief matchup a little more, and you can go into this matchup with more confidence. There wasn't much to talk about in regards to this matchup, as not much has changed since Season 2. This matchup is pretty tough for Mika. I would say one of her hardest matchups in my personal opinion, as Zangief is a better grappler overall, he's just slower, and he has quite a few tools that can deter Mika from being completely dominant. As a Mika player, you'll need to have extreme patience in this matchup and try not to overextend. Try to put Zangief in your guessing situations before he puts you in his. Let me know how you felt about the video in the comments below. Was the information helpful? Did I miss out something that you felt I should have put in the video? All feedback is greatly appreciated. If you enjoyed the video and have not subscribed to the channel, then why not subscribe? If not, thanks for watching anyway. I'll also leave my other social media outlets in the description below if you want to follow me on those as well. I've made a playlist for these matchup breakdown videos now, so the link to that will be in the description below as well. This has been your boy HC Jammers, and I'll see you guys on the next video. So until then, take care and enjoy the rest of your day.